Hello and welcome to the Galactic Goddess Roundtable. I'm your host, Rod Anelia,
And I'm Danielle.
and today we have a very special guest, Mateo Johnson, who is a hydrogen warrior, a hydrogen specialist, and CEO of Axiom H2 LLC. His mission is to introduce hydrogen therapy to the world, offer easily integrated methods of using hydrogen, and offer products that help heal humanity. So, welcome, Mateo.
Thank you so much for having me. It is an honor, and I'm so excited to be here today chatting with you guys.
So excited as well. Would you mind just educate us on this? Because this is
Yeah.
all new to me and to Danielle probably. So we're
Mhm.
open to learning more. Share.
Okay, so yes, hydrogen is it's a molecule. It's the most abundant molecule in the entire universe. It's what makes up the cosmos, the stars, all plant life, animals, humans. Hydrogen is needed in everything to live. It has some nicknames as known as the God particle, um, the miracle molecule. There's a lot of different powerful names it has because it almost is a miracle how it works in the body. Not only in the human body, but they're already making hydrogen engines in cars and planes and trains because of its efficiency for its power. It's easily accessible, and then there's no waste. No, the byproduct is water, so there's no harmful waste as an energy source.
That's
Uh, yeah, so this abundant molecule was really discovered almost little years ago, and they were using it for deep sea divers that
incredible.
would get sick from diving too deep, coming up too fast. And there's a condition they go through, and to save their life, they would actually give them hydrogen. And
Okay.
they realized that the hydrogen was helping deep sea divers stay safer. And then NASA was actually utilizing hydrogen to help protect against radiation poisoning. And then some of the doctors coming out of Japan and China and Asia, they were studying and realizing that hydrogen, it is the smallest molecule in the entire universe. So because of this molecular size, it can actually penetrate into the deepest part of our cells, our bodies, and be more effective. So the deeper we can go and start working on a cellular level than the surface level, we can get better results.
Is this so I've been in oxygen chambers before. Is this anything similar to that? Like I had surgery and I had it was pretty intensive, so I had to heal pretty fast because I couldn't stay. I was in another country. And
Mhm.
I got oxygen hyperbaric chamber therapy, and it really helped me to heal tremendously from this life-saving surgery that I went through. So
Mm.
is that kind of how it works? Like it penetrates deep into our cellular structure and starts to rapidly repair us from within?
Correct. It does work with similar benefits as a hyperbaric oxygen chamber, as far as increasing healing and recovery times and things like that. Um, Oxygen is more oxidative. Oxidative, and hydrogen is a complete opposite. It's pure regenerative.
Oh,
Um, so both of them have similar benefits,
okay.
and they actually, there is very small research on hyperbaric chambers with hydrogen. However, because of hydrogen being so flammable and combustible, it is dangerous and has to be in a super proper setting. So that typically, yeah, they don't do too many hydrogen hyperbaric chambers, even though in theory it would work very similar to how hyperbaric oxygen works.
Okay, this is interesting. Do you have any
Yes.
questions, Danielle?
Yeah, I'm actually kind of curious, and I might have missed this, but is all hydrogen peroxide the same as H2? Because I'm not actually that familiar with either.
Okay, no, great question. So hydrogen peroxide is the molecular form is H2O2.
Okay.
What I'm working with is molecular hydrogen, which would just be H2.
Okay.
So there's a couple different forms of hydrogen. Some forms are toxic. Some forms are naturally produced in the body, like H2O2.
Okay.
Hydrogen, our body produces hydrogen peroxide naturally to create our killer T cells, our strongest immune cells.
Wow.
And then molecular hydrogen, H2, is actually produced with proper gut health. When we have a balanced gut microbiome and gut health, there's an enzyme called hydrogenase. And so this enzyme with a fibrous diet, once it breaks down and it becomes fermented, this enzyme will actually break down the fibers and release hydrogen naturally into our body, very high amounts. However,
Wow.
the downside is with just one cycle of antibiotics, that can wipe out proper gut health for up to 3 to 5 years after one cycle of antibiotics.
That's wild. That is so wild. That's such great
Wow.
information to know. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, I'm always open to learning new
Yeah.
ways to stay healthier because there are so many brilliant hacks. And I think this is one of the, for sure, one of them. So, but it still feels like a little elusive. Like I want to jump in deeper and understand. So what are the benefits of hydrogen?
So that's something that is like kind of like where does it start and where does it end? Because again, what is our body made out of? Majorly H2O, right? So in H2O, that's water, and our body's 60 to 80% water. And water is composed of H2, two hydrogens to one oxygen combined. So hydrogen's very, very fundamental in our makeup. And so because of this, it works on every single level. It works in all of our organs, liver, our kidneys. It helps repair and balance our endocrine system, our hormones.
Mm.
And there's benefits. It's actually in that late 2020, it was actually approved in China to prevent and reverse dementia through
Oh,
Wow.
hydrogen inhalation.
that's
That's impressive.
incredible. So I guess when I ask what are the benefits, obviously I mean like you have a particular product with or device which enables us to receive more of that. So when we are receiving more of that from out, like within that machine device that you have, do you want to share about that? Because I'm probably just fumbling around trying to talk about it.
No, you're fine. So I'll sum these. So with with the human body and with our environment, the toxic environment that we grew up in, that we live in, we're constantly battling the onslaught of mycotoxins, right? Through our food and our water and our air and our lotions, our clothes, all these things, perfumes, deodorants, toothpaste, all these micro things add up to a big impact. And
Mhm.
hence, we're not producing the correct amount of hydrogen in our gut. So because of this, we need to supplement hydrogen. And now what I've done and what I capitalized on is this incredible technology to make the most natural element, an abundant element. You can make it endlessly with a easy to use machine from the comfort of your home. So you can get clinical grade, medical grade hydrogen therapy from your home that typically you'd have to spend big bucks to go to. You'd have to find a clinic that offers it, which would be the hardest part. Go there and get your treatments, and it's not like a magic bullet, a one-time fix. It's a continuous, habitual into your daily lifestyle, and that's where you get these really incredible regenerative effects. So with the comfort and convenience of the machine, it's the most user-friendly machine on the market. There's virtually no maintenance. Prior machines in the past, you would have to use a chemical solution known as sodium hydroxide or lye, and that would add more ions into the water to pull from. during the process, what's called electrolysis, which separates H2 from O. And that's how there's different forms of electrolysis. And this is what the machine uses. And, this is a little technical, but the process of electrolysis is called proton exchange membrane. So it's actually separating protons and capturing the H2. And then we utilize that. And that gas can then be inhaled. There's an adapter where you can infuse into water. There's actually custom-built eye goggles that the gas goes into, and there are studies proving that it actually repairs damaged retina. It's helping with focus, near and far vision, stress in the eyes, especially after long exposure of computer screens. And then there's headphones that you can wear for the gas to go in, and that actually repairs damaged eardrums, and it's a very fast route directly to the brain. And again, because the molecular size is so small, it can pass through the blood-brain barrier and rapidly increase those neuroprotective abilities. So, hydrogen works in 3 phases, and each phase, depending on the person's biological health, takes around 3 months. And the phase is cleansing and detoxification. After the body's working on maybe leaky gut, any viruses or bacteria, okay, that's done. The body knows what it needs to do next. From there, it starts to balance our hormones. And after a few months of balancing hormones, optimizing testosterone, balancing estrogen, cortisol, our stress hormone, things like that, it actually will move to regeneration. And around the 8-month mark and on is when we get the really amazing testimonials of hair growing back with color instead of gray. Old childhood scars starting to go away. It actually starts to regenerate old scar tissue. So because the body has so much energy to do so many things, once it gets a nice type ship running clean and good, all that extra energy can be for purely regeneration. So it's amazing, and it's safe, and it's non-toxic.
Yes.
And there's just more and more research coming out for improving sperm mobility, erectile dysfunction, sexual organ health in women and men, breast milk production during pregnancy, inflammation in all parts of the body, pain. There's tons of studies with cancer dissolving tumors. And another thing I like to add before I hand off the mic again is that it's what's known as a selective antioxidant. So it doesn't go in and just wipe out all oxidants. It will selectively choose which oxidants to neutralize and leave other oxidants as signal molecules to continue beneficial functions. And hydrogen will act differently in my body than it will your body. So it acts very intelligently for exactly what each of us need. It's just amazing.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
So impressive. I'm like, I want to try this. So where would someone, your average person, find something like this? Because this sounds too good to be true.
Right.
But I know it works.
That's the thing. It does seem too good to be true, but the more you understand about the molecule and how fundamentally it works on a cellular level, and then you just do a quick research on Google, oh my gosh, it's going to be all there for you. But
Wow.
through my brand, and I've been studying and using molecular hydrogen for over 5 years now, I've really capitalized on making quality products with transparency and testing. Because it's a new market and it's unregulated, I felt that some other brands out there could be utilizing people's lack of knowledge in the field to sell them lower quality products without the transparency, without the proper warranty, without a proper educated person for customer service. And with such a new technology, you need the education. You need to be able to talk to someone on the phone that knows about this and is studied and versed in it. And so I almost felt a need to step up to the plate and provide this.
Wow, incredible. I feel so lucky because I'm just learning about it. saw your product and I knew that we haven't had a conversation yet, but I knew I needed to know more because I'm really turning to the, holistic. I've been on the holistic lifestyle, but a lot of,
Hmm.
I've had to reverse a lot of damage from toxins from different things. And so
Hmm.
it's been quite a journey of recovery for me personally. And I'm always on the outlook for things that are going to help speed that process up of healing and
Yes.
regeneration. Um, so I guess I would ask, like, so basically it's a device, and what is this device called? Like, do you have a name for it?
Yeah, so the main device is HW 600, which is a hydrogen generator. It
Okay.
generates hydrogen gas, and then once we have that gas, it has a different applications into water, breathing, eyes, ears. So I have two different generators. One produces medical grade 600 milliliters a minute, so that's more than enough. And I made that model so for clinics that want to have a shorter session that can get more people through the door, you could get a lot of powerful healing in only 30 minutes, 15 to 30 minutes.
Really? Okay, so
Um,
that's that's the first model you're just talking about right now. So it's has more of a impact as far as receiving and outputting, generating the oxygen into your body.
yeah, the research shows that hydrogen does react differently in everyone's body, but in as a total in the research, typically the more gas you provide, the faster the results happen.
Okay, so like a 30-minute session with that machine could really boost your energy and help you to heal faster, and if you do it every day.
Definitely. The rule of thumb is the better health you're in, the less you're going to initially feel a big impact. In the worse health you're in, it's like, oh my gosh, I
Yeah.
just got a breath of life. You literally, your vision changes, it's sharper, all your senses turn on brighter, and you might get the best sleep you've had in 20 years. That's some of the testimonial we've had. You might not be needing to nap anymore. You might just be feeling more peaceful and balanced. It's
Nice.
just so what I've actually developed recently is now a questionnaire form. So the people in good health, how can they quantify that this is working?
Yeah.
Well, I've now developed a form that they can just do a quick check mark and say, how many hours of sleep do you average get before you start hydrogen therapy? And quality of sleep. How's
Mhm.
your digestion? How often do you go? How's your stress levels? How's your energy throughout the day? So there's about a 15 to 20 questionnaire form for people to
Right.
fill out. And every 30 days, we resend that form, and it'll take you less than 5 minutes to check the boxes, fill it out. That
Yeah.
way we can go back and say, because the thing is, what we've noticed is that out of sight, out of mind, all
Yes.
the issues they had
Yeah.
vanish. And then they're just like, they forgot they had knee issues. They forgot they weren't sleeping.
That's so
Yeah.
great. That
And
sounds
then,
good to me. Let's just forget about it.
yeah. And then hydrogen, it's like poor hydrogen doesn't get any credit that it
Ah.
deserves. And so now we have a way to quantify and monitor
Yeah.
the changes over, weeks and months, and because you do see these changes and they are very subtle because it's on a cellular level.
Cellular health is so important, and we never hear about that. You don't hear about that. We always hear, I feel like yeah, the industries are definitely, everyone's first of all like suffering from mineral, deficiencies. We're suffering from oxygen deficiencies.
Hmm.
And that's crazy to think because oxygen is everywhere, but you think it's free. It's what's on earth, but we've been compromised from the soil, you know,
Hmm.
from that level all the way up into to our skies, like all these pollutants now. So we've been compromised, you guys, and we have to take our health back in our own hands and really reactivate our immune system so that it works for us. And I believe in our regenerative power to heal. I have been on my deathbed before, and I thought I was definitely about to die, and I had that turn, of events when I had that operation. But I do know that the body wants to heal. It knows how to heal, and that it can heal, but we have to supply certain, like, nutrients or oxygen. All these little tweaks can really put us to our A game, and I want to get there for sure. So this is
Yes.
exciting. So now let's talk about the machine again, because it's like,
Mhm.
how big is the machine? What does it look like? How, like, somebody that's not like a tech person like me, like,
Mhm.
fidgeting around going, what goes where? How does it
Yeah.
work? What, um, how long will it last? Is it like regenerating oxygen that does ever run out? Like, what
Right.
kind of questions? So
Yeah, good questions, all very good questions. And that's why I like to do these interviews, because I've been so zoomed in on
yeah.
this topic for so many years that I need to back up and, be able to cross the bridge with the proper verbiage. So, yeah, the machine is kind of like could be a desktop or a nightside table where it could go. It's about a foot and a half tall, about a
Okay.
foot wide, and with water inside of it. That's how it runs off water. It weighs about 11 pounds.
Oh, okay.
So it's not
Portable.
very heavy. There's handles on the side,
Mhm.
and all it needs to run is besides electrical outlet, and it takes about the same amount of energy that a light bulb runs off of to actually operate the machine. So very little electricity to run the machine.
Mhm.
And then it runs off of pure distilled water. And you can get a gallon of distilled water typically at your local store for $1.20. 1 gallon will last you, depending on how many hours you're using the machine, but 1 gallon should last you around 3 months.
Wow, that's
So
incredible.
yeah, it uses very, very little bit of water to operate, very little bit of electricity to operate. And what I've done is I worked with two other companies in the past. And like I said, I saw what was missing in the market. And one was user friendliness. If it wasn't easy to use, it was just another expensive machine collecting dust.
Yeah.
And it wasn't practical and realistic to utilize every day. And so that was the first thing. It says we need to get rid of chemicals, mixing chemicals for the customers to do. We need to get rid of filters to clean, and then we need to upgrade the material, because the cheap, like stainless steel materials, can release oxides.
Hmm.
So what we've done is use pure titanium coated with platinum, and that's what the really top research models in Japan use. Like $12,000 machines coming out of Japan use the same material. So I kind of said I want to use that material with this technology, and add these sensors, and it all came together beautifully. Uh, so another thing I realized is that some of these expensive machines had a little warranty to no warranty,
Hmm.
and no cell phone number to get a hold of anyone. And I,
That's
and
tough.
yeah, and I was, coming from a frustrated customer. I, got certified through Molecular Hydrogen Institute, which is a leading institute in the United States for molecular hydrogen. And, my background's in holistic nutrition and herbs and supplements, sports and training conditioning. And so I had a good grasp of water and health and all these things. And I said, I'm spending a couple $1,000. There's no warranty. I can't call anyone. And I had to go through the trials and tribulations to buy other machines, have problems, them fail after, 6 months.
Yeah.
So with this one, I said, I'm going to offer a phone number directly to myself,
Wow.
right? That you guys have my personal phone number. I actually created an extended warranty. So it's a 3-year warranty, which I haven't seen any other models offer that.
Mhm.
And we have built-in sensors. We have a couple of extra safety features in there. So the water level gets too low, it automatically shuts off. You won't burn any of the sensors out. If the water gets tainted, it will not operate, because if it were to operate with tainted water, it could release oxides and harmful things.
Okay.
So if let's say a bug or some of your distilled water somehow gets tainted, you pour it in there, a sensor in there will read it and light up and say, hey, the water's not pure, so we can't make pure medical grade hydrogen.
That's incredible. This is wild.
Yeah.
So cool.
So that's why you don't like need a clinic or a doctor. You can literally, it's like a touch of a button and boom, you got medical grade healing from your house. And typically, I was going to throw it on here. I didn't want to look too silly, but typically, every time I start to do my emails, I
Yeah.
spend 15 to 20 minutes a day. I take the cannula, and we're actually used upgraded antibacterial material for the cannulas, not a clear silicone. All
Uh-huh.
the other models use a clear silicone, which are disposable and they can collect mold and bacteria. So these are medical grade, and you can only get them through a medical manufacturer. You can't actually buy these online. I look to try to just get extra ones. You can only get them through a medical manufacturer. They have a moisture capture chamber in there for any moisture. And so if you have 30 minutes, 15 minutes while you're heading out,
Mhm.
when you come home before bed, when
Mhm.
you wake up, I mean, it's going to start to cleanse your lungs, balance your system, reduce stress, and just really revitalize you, refresh you.
Incredible. That's so cool. It's just so amazing that this is this is exactly what I've been dreaming of for the future, you know, new technologies that are for the people. You know,
Yes.
as a
Yes.
publisher, a lot of the books we do are about healing, healing on all different levels, mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual. Our Starseed books are about awakening to new ways that we can thrive as humans, you know. And our next book is called Solutions for a Better Future. This is definitely a solution for a better
Yes.
future. Can you imagine everybody having one of these and how good they would feel? It's almost, I can imagine that it would also have a kind of an antidepress, you know, and help with depression
Yeah.
because a lot of times depression, we need more oxygen. We need, that's what my mom always says, we you need more oxygen, open the windows. You know, she's like Asian.
Yeah.
She's always like,
Uh-huh.
get more oxygen.
Yeah.
And so, you know, as a society, we've been lacking so much, you know, especially knowledge. And it's time that we reclaim, you know, God's gifts and all that's meant for us. And so I'm really grateful. So like this machine, basically you plug it into a wall just to try to get, I'm trying to like get the whole scoop. And also for anyone watching, that's because I get nervous when I purchase things and I'm like, I don't know if I could put it together. Like, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
like, I mean, I'm, you know, I'm not the most techie person. Sometimes I fiddle around with things and I'm like, oh, I need an engineer here to help me. But so you
Yeah.
basically plug it into the wall and it's kind of like a base machine. And then you basically put the water into it, the filtered water, and like it has buttons that you know, tells you what to do. How many buttons does it have? How, you know, how complicated
Yeah.
is
There's I think 4 buttons.
Oh, okay.
It's very simple.
Yeah.
So, we made it ultra user friendly. There's a large time display so you can see how many hours. There's an on button, a
Okay.
minus button, a plus button, and a sleep mode. So you turn it on,
Mhm.
you see it's on, you'll see bubbles going.
Okay.
You can change the time. You can run it up to 24 hours a day nonstop. You can run it while you sleep for a 6 hour session. And then with that sleep mode, you hit the sleep mode button and the lights shut out. So it turns out the lights and it's perfectly silent. So it wouldn't disturb you while you rest. And yeah, so it's literally distilled water into the top. You won't have to touch it for around 2 weeks. And then just a start button, and that's it.
Okay. I like the simplicity. I get so flustered when things are trying to be high tech and they have so many buttons and you're like really
Yeah.
what was this? What, you know, people just want simplicity. Like, you know, call me
Yes.
fashion. I don't want too many buttons. I just want a few on, off, you know.
Hmm.
If I have to mess around with it too much, I'll get bored and I'll be like, forget it. So you can actually wear this to sleep. Like that's
Yeah.
is that what you're saying? Okay, so that's kind of cool because I think most Americans suffer from insomnia. That's a big issue. Like we all, we all have that going on for many reasons. And to be able to wear that probably relaxes you and brings more oxygen to your body, brings you more into your natural state. A lot of times, I just think the American culture and maybe across the world, but we just have shallow breathing. So
Yes.
we're just like, we're not really breathing
Mhm,
deeply. We've kind of forgotten the art of breathing. And
mhm.
that's why a lot of people have also, they sleep disorders. They're like, they grasp for breath
Right.
in the night, and
Yeah.
so it's an interesting thing about how we have to retrain our body. So maybe this is to sort of helping retrain our body to be more in the organic and natural rhythm. Hmm.
100%. And in like you just said, and you touched on earlier, this just supplies the body with the natural molecule to give the body the extra boost it needs to do what it knows it needs. So it's always working on just bringing homeostasis in every organ function and in our hormones. Like you talked about depression, we've worked with actually a young girl with depression, and within the first week she was finally got out of bed, her appetite came back. And then we have a couple testimonials. Literally the guy said best sleep he had in 20 years. Other Another friend at work, he was almost crying when I talked to him, and because I offer tablets too, which is a very inexpensive way to start experiencing the therapy. And he took the tablets and he had anxiety for almost 5 years because he couldn't sleep. And he tried melatonin, chamomile tea. He really like impressed me. I'm like, wow, you've done a lot. Have you tried magnets on your bed? Did you try changing, the position of your bed from north to south, and some other weird things? And he didn't try that. But within the first week of using the tablets, he was almost crying, hugging me. He said, "No, you changed my life. You changed my life."
Hmm.
Just from the sleep. Yeah, so it's just you can take them before you go to bed, you can take it when you wake up. It's helping with hangovers, and I just give them out to people for fun, just to see. Take these.
Hangovers. So you take it after
Oh,
you drink, and then that way you're not gonna feel, as bad.
oh, yeah. I mean, I don't drink anymore, but a couple of my friends do, and they're like, "You need to make a new company just for hangovers because this is like the magic bullet."
Love
Wow,
it.
Yeah.
incredible. That's just like what a testament. So, what are some other research, that's been done around this? Is there anything else about hydrogen therapy that's more technical for the tech geeks out there that want more research behind it?
Yeah, so there's over 1,000 studies published out there now.
Mhm.
Most of them are on animal trials. There's a lot of them on human trials. Um, there's a lot of clinical data, clinical trials, pubmed.gov, published and posted. The biggest study that was done was with cardiac arrest. And
Oh,
I
wow.
believe that study came for over 1,000 people in Japan in 2007. And that was the biggest study they did with cardiac arrest, and it had phenomenal results. So there is all the literature and all the data out there, not only through a simple Google search. I've actually consolidated a lot of the juiciest stuff on my website, which is axiomh2.com. So it has the links, it has the benefit, and then you get to see the data behind it.
Okay.
There's a lot of stuff with sports performance, increasing ATP production, which is our energy. It's reducing stress in the body, and it's helping. There's a couple different really interesting studies showing, yeah, improvements in cardio and strength performance.
Hmm. Wow.
So, I discovered it as an athletic boxer.
Mhm.
And, after more studying, I'm like, this is, life changing. And
Mhm.
this is literally the fountain of youth. And these, quote unquote, magical healing springs throughout the world that people go and visit, and, very popular ones in Lourdes, France. And there was a study done where they measured why do all these people go to these healing springs and seem to have these benefits. Well, they measured the 7 most popular healing springs around the world, and what they found is there was high amounts of extra available hydrogen in the water.
Wow. That is the link, right?
Yeah.
Link that we need more of. That's just
Yes.
probably helps us. And I thought that was interesting earlier when you said gut health, because I that wouldn't come to mind when I think of oxygen therapy. I'm like, that's interesting, the correlation between the oxygen intake and gut health, because that's a huge thing. People across the world have leaky gut. Like probably most people have a little bit of leaky gut going on simply because of the foods we eat are kind of compromised. And so I'd like you to just, tune into that a little bit more so people could understand, because that's a huge crisis. And I think if this is a missing link to help with that, I mean, everyone should have one of these, right?
Yeah, this is as you'd said before too, with to get these into communities, we're giving the people the power of health.
Yes.
You have the power of health in your hands. And with one machine and in one household, you start healing your loved one, your partner, your pets. All the pets need to be getting
Yes.
hydrogen rich water. They absolutely will drink the water like there's no tomorrow. And animals know good water.
Yeah.
So it's like we're always just blown away that a little cat will drink a whole bowl of water, lap it down a minute straight. The dogs drink it all. And so there's a lot of studies with helping animals out with this hydrogen water, and agriculture too. So it
Mm.
actually protects against different pesticides and things with the plant health. But yeah, so one machine, you heal your neighbors, invite your neighbor over for a session. They're feeling better. We can heal our communities with this technology. The power's in our hands now. And back to the gut health, yes, what this does is it starts to balance the gut microbiome. So that gut balance, if it's too alkaline or too acidic or wherever it is going to auto correct and help to bring balance and order to the gut health. The tablets work great for that, and same with the hydrogen rich water. People with acid reflux and things like that, and just bad digestion, this is helping out greatly. So there's actually, I had just posted a new post, I think yesterday it was, about hydrogenase and how this enzyme and how important enzymes in our gut are, and how hydrogen is beneficial in bringing balance to those.
Wow, that's just wild. And there's such a correlation between our gut and our mood, like mood disorders, and our how we feel,
Mm-hmm.
again, depression, again, all the mood swings and stuff. The gut health has a huge impact. So
Yes.
yeah, I think it's important to really think of ourselves as holistic beings, and
Mm-hmm.
you know really tying in those things that integrate, such as our breath, oxygen, and also the soil, like nutritional rich food, integrating more minerals, because most people are depleted and don't even know it.
Right.
Kind of crazy. So, Danielle, do you have any other questions that you'd like to ask? I feel like I've been.
I I'm so blown away, and I kind of want to rewind just a little bit on
Sure.
sleeping apnea aspect, because I have someone in mind. I'm thinking of my father, and he sleeps with a machine at night. So hypothetically speaking, if I were to get him one of these, would it possibly be able to reverse and take him off a machine?
Yeah.
Is this is
Yeah.
powerful. Yeah, I'm blown away. I don't even know what to ask at this point. I just signed me up for
Right.
one.
Yeah. Well, as soon as you said that, I already had it in my mind. I said, well, eventually it will just correct the problem. He won't need the machine, and he probably won't even need to use the hydrogen machine overnight. Typically those overnight situations are for people that are chronically ill, that are like on their deathbed. they say that one like 45-minute session of hydrogen inhalation is equivalent to two high dose vitamin C IV drips. Like
Wow.
for far as that's a doctor
Yeah.
has compared those two, and he said if there's a patient knocking on death's door, the number one thing they should have and not stop is breathing hydrogen gas until they literally can get out of the bed of the ER. That's how important it is. And so you know, he probably wouldn't even have to breathe it all night. He could do 1 to 2 sessions a day, around 30 minutes to an hour, and it would start to, I would say within a month, he would see drastic improvements. And that's just because I've worked with hundreds of clients, over the past 5 years and heard the testimonials. I have the research. That's why it's too much. That's so exciting.
That is so amazing. And then let's touch on the aspect because I know a lot of women, like women, a lot of women don't want to get like all of these treatments that are anti-aging that make you look good, but are toxic, because we know better. So tell us about the anti-aging aspect, not just for women, but also for men, because I think that's a huge point that many people want to learn how they can stay youthful, feel good, and not
Mhm.
have to, inject themselves with all kinds of toxins trying to do that.
Mhm.
Great question.
Yeah, so this is again so juicy, got really exciting information on this. So far as anti-aging, hydrogen, it plays a crucial role in protecting and improving the electron flow in our mitochondria. So our total mitochondria health is going to improve with more abundant hydrogen in the body. So that's one factor of the aging. Another main factors of aging is oxidative stress at a cellular level. That creates aging, right? When something is oxidizing, that's death. You cut open an apple, it starts to brown. That's oxidation. That's death occurring.
Yeah.
So this is going to reverse oxidation. So it's really amazing that it's reducing oxidative stress at a cellular level. It neutralizes ROS, also known as reactive oxygen species, and hydroxyl radicals, which happens through respiratory of our cells and our mitochondria, release these hydroxyl radicals. Those get neutralized. The other main cause of aging is hydration.
Oh,
So
okay.
being dehydrated, we start to wrinkle up, right? We get wrinkles. If you look at a raisin, it's dehydrated, it's all the wrinkles,
That's right.
right? And that's what happens as we age. We are
Yeah.
dehydrated at a cellular level. And this increases hydration by sevenfold because of the molecular size and the permeability to be able to bring hydration into the cellular level. And this is the first time in years that I I drink the littlest amount of water in my whole life, and I've always just drink like water and basically juice.
Mhm.
And the past like 4 months, I realized I drink maybe a liter of water a day. You know why? It's because I am hydrated on a cellular level.
Amazing. Wow.
So with the proper structured water, and the proper properties of water, we don't need a gallon of water a day or 2 liters or 3 liters. We really don't. But when we drink a bunch of dead water with
Mm,
bad properties in it, that's why when you drink a big glass of, let's call it dead water, you'll go to the bathroom right away because it didn't get absorbed. It just flushes through your system because it's not even absorbed, it's not needed. But when we restructure the molecules of water and the molecules get more organized, this changes the permeability of water and it allows it to enter surfaces more effectively.
Okay.
So, for anti aging, between the oxidative stress, between protecting the mitochondria, between improving hydration, and then the last and maybe just as equally as important is it actually regulates telomerase. And if you're familiar with telomeres, right? Telomeres are the chromosomes that every time they split, they get shorter and shorter and shorter. And the faster that happens, the faster we age. So there is clinical studies that I have posted that actually improve the production of telomerase to protect the how fast our telomeres shorten. So, and that is directly correlated with aging.
That's so cool. That is so cool. Actually, in our spinning, we do we always spin to lengthen our telomere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now I can do with oxygen too. So a question about the water, because you keep saying the water. Are we now the machine you have, it has a way to bring this bring this hydrogen into the water to make it more impactful. And when we consume it, we can hydrate better. How does that happen? What do we do if you have the actual machine?
Mhm.
How are you making that transference?
Sure. Great question. Um, so the machine has two ports on the left side and the right side. So what that means is that there's two areas where the gas comes out of.
Mhm.
So you're going to have a cannula like this. You're going to have the eye goggles, you have the headset, and then you have a diffusion rod. What that diffusion rod is a small rod about 7 inches, and I use the smallest micron size holes in this diffusion rod. So the gas is going to pass through the rod and create micro bubbles inside the water. And these micro bubbles will start to saturate the hydrogen gas into the water. It's actually going to infuse the gas into water. So you can drop this diffusion rod into your Axiom water bottle. You can drop it into a 1 gallon jug of water. You can drop it into a 5 gallon jug of water that sits on the counter for the whole family. You can drop it into the bathtub to make a hydrogen bath, which
That's
they're actually doing in Korea and Japan in beauty spas.
nice.
Um, so
Yeah.
it's very simple. As we said before, it's one touch of a button to turn on the machine, and then gas is made. How would you like to use the gas? You can plug one port in with the cannula to breathe and the other port for the water infusion rod.
So you could literally take a bath because I'm a bath queen. Those are
Yeah.
my savoring moments, and I'm a
Mhm.
mermaid in the mountains. So you just basically take the machine and put it by the bathtub, plug it in, then the canala you put into the tub, and I mean, you can wear that. What is that piece called that you have?
So it's called a cannula.
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 Okay, so
Uh-huh.
that's a piece that you wear. What is the piece that you put into the top, like put into the water? What is the other? So there's another piece on the other side of the.
Right. So it's yeah, it's a little like metal rod. It's stainless steel,
Okay.
and that's attached to a rubber hose, and that little rubber hose
Mhm.
connects to the machine. So then once it's connected in that one of those ports, you can put it in, like I said, a bathtub,
Mhm.
a large jug of water for the day, or a big, gallon that you want to give to your pets and your plants and your garden.
Brilliant. That's so interesting. It, so you can actually use it and be taking a bathtub bath with more oxygen, and you're getting all the benefits. Um,
Yeah, like I was saying, in Korea and Japan, they really have got a whole niche market for hydrogen and beauty care. So they do hydrogen baths where
mhm.
people take, a spa bath with hydrogen-rich water. It's impairing collagen in the skin. It's repairing against sun damage, and it's
Oh,
just bringing regeneration, anti-aging into your skin. They also do hydrogen-rich foams, like a foam solution that lets sit, and they have hydrogen face masks. So you can make a bowl of hydrogen-rich water and take a cloth, dip it in there, and actually place it on your face and do a little at-home spa treatment with hydrogen water. Some people even make a little spray bottle with the hydrogen water, and they do a misting in the morning and at night. And they're saying skin tags are falling off, skin is getting healthier, more not as dry, it's more hydrated. So it's just, I mean, it's real. I know it sounds too good to be true. I know.
well, I just think I don't think our industry was made for innovators, like the way that the foundations of the way things have been made, it wasn't made for innovators for the well-being of all. So I think this is the time now where people are really meant to step in like yourself and contribute to humanity at this level, because we have to use our intelligence to empower ourselves and each other. That's the only way I could see us moving forward, because
Hmm.
there's a lot of degeneration, and that's mental,
Yeah.
emotional, physical, and spiritual. And we are really struggling to get back on track, and I think all these, like this technology could really help somebody on all the levels I just listed. Um, so there's many, yeah, and I always like to ask as many questions as possible, because I want to know. I like to think of all the cool things I could do with it. And
Hmm.
yeah, I used to get beauty treatments. Like I would just get like oxygen therapy. So I get oxygen
Hmm.
facials, which are like a couple $100, and it
Hmm.
would make my face like really feel and look youthful and really plump, and but it would only last for like a day. So you like
Oh, okay.
there for like before a photo shoot or something, but it doesn't have that longevity, because it's like you want to have this kind of device so you could do it all the time in the comfort of your home. Like you don't want to drive 40 minutes to the spa,
Yeah,
do this and do that.
exactly.
I like After the pandemic, you realize as much as I can do at home, I really would
Yeah.
like to, unless I'm
Yeah.
traveling. Like I just don't feel like I want to go out anymore the way that I used to. So
100%.
Agreed.
um, Capitalizing on this, like at-home therapies, really powerful, natural, safe, effective at-home therapies, being proactive with your health, being preventative,
yes.
and why isn't there more discussion and commotion about it? Well, it's a natural element. And guess what? Pharmaceutical companies cannot patent natural elements. So they're not going to put the hundreds, thousands, or millions of dollars into this deep, 15-year research that takes a lot of time. They're just like, well, there's no money. Let's not even worry about it. We're going to look somewhere else where we can capitalize on a patent to
Yeah.
generate income. So
Yeah.
something natural and effective is something that is going to be shunned, and it's going to be called woo woo, and it doesn't work and it's fake. But guess what? They're already in hospitals in Japan.
Mm.
It's already been proven to treat pneumonia, COVID
Yes.
in
Yes.
United Kingdom, Malaysia, China, Japan. The health governments have already approved it for treating COVID and pneumonia, all lung respiratory issues.
Amazing. I was just thinking that, because that's one of the things with the C word, is that
Yeah.
basically you can't breathe. Like I was one of the first people to get it, 2 years ago, and I was like really struggling to breathe, and I could imagine how helpful something like this would have been. So it's pretty incredible how yeah, when we tune back into our natural resources, that's where our gold is,
Yeah.
really and figuratively. And oxygen, this hydrogen is gold for our system and our bodies, and we can regenerate. I believe we can live longer. I feel like
Yes.
we should live longer. I think we've been at such a disservice to ourselves by not considering what's right in front of us, what's the obvious, but we've just sort
Hmm.
of passed it, because we've all been indoctrinated into believing that a pill or this or that was artificially made would
Hmm.
give greater service than what the creator already gave us. And so finding ways that we can clean this stuff out, because like our resources, our water, our air, again, it's been
Hmm.
polluted. So we have to get the purest versions of these, and it's getting rarer and rarer to find clean versions of anything anymore. Everything has been contaminated. So where we can find purity is where we can find health. And I'm really grateful to have a conversation with you today. And
Yes.
Danielle, was there anything else you'd like to ask before we end?
Not at the moment, but I just want to thank you because this is, like I said in the beginning, it does sound too good to be true. But after everything I've heard, I mean, this is the gold that, it's something
Yeah.
that I would love to have in every American and global household. So thank you,
Right.
and those who helped to create and bring this into humanity. So this is a beautiful service that you've done.
Yeah,
Thank you.
bravo.
Yeah. Thank
Bravo.
you so much. It's been a lonely road for the past, almost 5 years, and people ridiculing me,
Oh,
calling it fake, and all this stuff. And I said, look, don't kill the messenger. Here's all the data. You just have to look. And I'm just way ahead of the curve. But hydrogen is the future for health and energy. And a last analogy I just wanted to add is a new analogy I figured out is that hydrogen works like a mechanic does on the car. Okay, because some people say, well, how long is hydrogen in the body and does it last or does it go away? It works like a mechanic does. Your car has problems. You take it to the mechanic spends about an hour or two working on it. You get the car back, and the car is going to run better, even though the mechanic's not in the car or there. That's how hydrogen works. With one inhalation session, hydrogen will stay in the body for about an hour's time, repairing, working, and then it will leave the body. But they found about 14 days after one session of hydrogen therapy, there's residual effects.
Wow.
So it's actually still working in the body because it actually regulates gene expression. So when it regulates gene expression, it tunes, tightens, changes like a mechanic, and then it leaves. And all those new gene expressions are going to continue to give beneficial effects up to 14 days after one session.
wow. That's incredible.
Yeah,
That is just so, so cool. I love anything that is regenerative, like that's
yeah.
beautiful. So I can imagine doing it every single day and reaping the great rewards. I guess one last question I have is so in one of our books, one of our authors, and she's passed away now, but she was a senior, but she needed like oxygen, she needed oxygen device because she couldn't breathe really well on her own. So um I donated and we got her an oxygen. I guess it was like a portable oxygen tank or something like that. And it really
Hmm.
helped her, feel comfortable through for the rest, through the duration of her life. And so that I guess my question is this something similar but she had to keep getting oxygen I forgot what they were, but you put them inside of the oxygen tank and it keeps fueling it. So I don't remember what it was. I didn't ask too many questions about it, but so I was just curious. But this sounds like it's way more. This is a gift that keeps on giving because you don't have to keep buying the capsules for it.
Yeah.
It's different. So this actually would have helped. This would have been better for her because she doesn't have to keep buying the capsules, like the oxygen capsules that were put
Hmm.
inside of this little tank. I didn't see it personally, so I'm just basing it off what the description was loosely.
Yeah, I actually studied oxygen and utilized oxygen therapy and ozone therapy before hydrogen. And as I got into these medical gases and diving in this world, I'm like, whoa, this is amazing. This is powerful stuff. But yes, things like oxygen is expensive. To go get like a medical grade oxygen tank is not easy. It weighs a lot.
Mhm.
Um, and or you have to keep buying tablets, something like that. This, I mean, you buy 2 gallons of distilled water, you're good for probably 6 months. I mean,
Wow.
like so little bit of money and maintenance to operate the machine. And we have testing through gas analysis meters and lab reports, as well as digital meters, H2 blue drops. So I've tested in every angle and form with really hard usage, thousands of hours on the machine, and it's still producing balanced, stable gas. And it's just I couldn't be happier with the testimonials I'm getting. We had my first customer was a stage 5 cancer. She had stage 5 lung cancer, and she was expected not to live. And her friend said, Mateo, I don't know if you want to get involved with this, but I have a friend. She's probably not going to live. Like she's expected to die. Do you want to try to get involved and help? I said, of course. She said, just know there's a risk. And it scared me because what if she were to pass using my brand new product and had nothing to do with the machine, but she
Yeah.
passes, and the family's like, it was Mateo and his crazy hydrogen machine. So I was super scared, but I can safely and happily say she's alive. Her appetite came back. She has energy. She's living, and
Yes.
she loves the machine, and she sleeps with it every night. And we
Incredible.
still touch base. I said, look, I'll be here with you during this healing journey because that's my passion. That's why I do this.
Yes.
If my goal is I can heal more people by just doing that, everything else should fall into place, right? I
Yes.
should cover my finances
Yeah.
and X, Y, and Z. But so just having that goal, how many lives can I touch? How many people can I heal and make it an impact? And the company just launched about 4 months ago. After a year of trials and tribulations working with different products and testing and all the stuff, we finally got a great product, a great team behind me, and we ship worldwide, and nothing but great feedback from the tablets to the two generators. We have an at-home model that's a little less expensive than the clinical model, and then we have the great warranty. I mean, it's right now everything's just winning on all fields.
That's incredible. That's just so beautiful. And you really answered my question. So like without knowing what the question really was, I was like trying to ask. So for example, she needed oxygen and she needed this machinery and she was asking for help. So we helped her and then but she needed more things to put inside of it. She had to keep refueling, repurchasing these oxygen pieces that go inside the machine so they would
Mm-hmm.
run out and she'd have to get more and more and more. So what I'm trying to say is that this is regenerating versus that model, which is like that's the old model. Like you need to keep buying more and more and more and more. And this is like the gift that keeps giving, giving. We want to be more on this, the new model, your model is
Yeah.
the way that we are going to be sustaining ourselves,
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly it. It's, we're not looking for to milk people out and well, you need to keep buying these filters and need to buy this every 3 months. No, this is it's a one-time purchase.
Wow.
The warranty is for 3 years, and on the electrodes, it's 10-year lifespan. So, I mean, and this is medical grade hydrogen gas, which is 5 nines purity, 99.9999% pure hydrogen. And it's under the 4% threshold. So there's no chance of explosions or any danger in those regards. And last bit of news, I just forgot about this. Axiom H2, the company I founded, we are now partnering with one of the leading doctors with live dry blood analysis. So she has a dark field microscope, and which I have as well. And I've done a few studies with live blood analysis showing a microscope of the quality of blood before and after.
Yeah.
So I mean, there is like all the evidence in the world anyone would need, from a doctor to a biochemist to a
Yeah.
scientist, to a hater.
Yeah.
There is, I got everything for everyone, and
But yeah.
so her name's Molly, and she's amazing. And I'm going to be adding a section on the website for her. But I'm so excited. I'm so thrilled. She's on board. She understands hydrogen. She believes in hydrogen, and we have been in talk communication for the past 6 months. I'm a big fan of her work, and she offers a bunch of very, very advanced detox protocols for parasites, mold in the body, and so she has her own programs for that I would love to capitalize on. And so, Axiom H2 is not just a hydrogen company. We're an all-round wellness, regenerative brand. We're not selling you a product and saying, there you go. No. Would you like to follow up? And you can do blood work from the comfort of your home for diagnostics, for validity and transparency into this. So we're really bringing everything, we're backing everything we're preaching with blood analysis by a medical doctor. So, we're really changing the game in the hydrogen field, and we're going to be, we're pioneering a lot of new researches. We're starting some pilot programs. I'm going to be promoting to get some volunteers. So it's just really exciting stuff that we're just on the forefront right now.
That's incredible. So I will
Yeah.
put all your information below so people can find you, find your product. And I don't want to put you on the spot here, but do you want to provide like any kind of promo for any listeners that might want to
Yeah.
invest in?
Let's do Radha
Mhm.
20.
Okay.
Radha 20. So 20% off all the products on the, yeah. I had such a great time. And so, anyone watching, RADHAA 20. There's a spot for a coupon code. So if you want to
Okay.
try some tablets or you want to invest in a machine and start working on your health, go ahead and utilize that. And, let's chat again.
That is so incredible.
Yeah.
I'm just so excited. Thank you so much for your time and
Oh,
also for the work that you're doing. It takes tremendous courage to stand for something with integrity like this. And of course, when you're doing something great, everybody's going to be a naysayer and like, try to put you down, try to discredit, and it takes great courage, but the truth is, you know what you stand for. And this, I believe in this so much, and I've experienced it myself. So you guys definitely jump on that promo. That was so generous, to offer
yeah.
that. So be sure you grab that right away. And then yeah, did you want to put an expiration date on that so people could get, decide when they would like to use that, how long?
Yeah, it's December 15th now. Hopefully this would air soon.
Mhm.
We can say till January 1st, a holiday special.
Okay.
And the sooner you guys use the code, the sooner you guys are going to be getting hydrogen therapy,
Fun.
and the sooner you can start affecting your community, your health, your well-being.
Fantastic. So I hope you jump on that because this is truly an opportunity of a lifetime, and I'm not kidding. So thank you so
Yeah.
much for joining. Sending you all so much love and blessings. Until next time, bye.